welcome to our beach house in the Outer Banks, the Lost Cottage. I'm about to give you guys a tour. This house has a piece of my heart. My family, my husband and I and our 5 kids and 3 dogs have been in this 800 square foot cottage for the past almost 5 years, and we have been loving it down here. So I'm going to show you all of that. It's a tiny house, so we have lots of tips and tricks for making very small square footage work for a lot of people. And this is also the house on the cover of my new book, Beach Life. You can see here. And I'm going to show you all of that. So come on in. I'm so excited. Oh wait, I also have to show you my favorite thing about the house, which is this live oak tree. Our kids love climbing it. It's probably the reason we bought the house. But the inside's pretty good too, so come see it. The house is on stilts like most of the houses down here in the Outer Banks because we are very close to the ocean, and so we do have to be prepared for water. We do have one area of the house that is not on stilts, and I will show you that. It's our laundry room and a little bathroom. We replaced the original board and batten siding with hardy plank board and batten and then painted it. Everybody asks me what this color is, and I'm sorry, I do not have the color for you. It was a color match and I don't know it, so I'm so sorry. But it's a really pretty warm white. I hate to say that. We replaced existing decks, and then we also added on a ton of outdoor square footage with new decks. Our street is a sand street, and so we're constantly coming in sandy, so we have a cool little seashell foot wash here with the water, so we can all wash off before coming in. The house is only 800 square feet, and so we had to really make it work for our family of 7. I will show you how we did that now. Here is the house. This is the original front door. It's one of the only original things we kept in the house, and we kept it in its original condition. It's super messed up, and we like it that way. I wanted the patina. Come on in. We moved the front door here, and I will show you where it used to be. It used to be on the front of the house, but we had to change that. So first I'll show you the kitchen. I love this kitchen. It is not very big, but it seriously packs a punch. The cabinets are from my collection with unique kitchens and baths. This is my yesteryear collection. I called it that because to me, this little drawer has sort of a curve to it that you see in a lot of antique pieces of furniture, and it just feels really vintage, hence yesteryear. One of the things I loved in the original house was the original porcelain knobs. We did not have enough to do in the new house once we renovated. We had a lot more cabinetry, but I found really, really similar ones, and that really spoke to me because I actually loved the original kitchen. It just wasn't functional enough for all of us. Where you guys are currently standing used to be, I think, a dining area. Is that right, Dave? My husband Dave is filming here, so you might hear me asking questions. We did this 5 years ago. So this was like a dining area, and so this was a smaller kitchen here. And then there was a side door next to where that door is, and then there was a front door where, should we show them around yet? Or is that to be revealed later? Revealed later? Show them around. The front door, Dave doesn't want to show you. Okay, you're not seeing it yet. I'll let the cameraman be in charge.
That could be B-roll.
So some of my favorite things about this kitchen, it is tiny, but we cook a ton when we're down here. This is a 24-inch electric range. I got it in white, again, going for those vintage vibes. The backsplash is a hand-painted terracotta tile. This is from my collection with Architessa. It's called Folk Bouquet. I drew these little designs, and then they were hand painted on here. That's available. And I went with black and white here. Just wanted to keep the palette really simple. So we have wood everywhere, and then you'll see bits of white, little accents of blue. I love these little ball jars, just barely there, blues and aquas, and a little bit of black every now and then. What else do you guys want to know about this kitchen? Let's see. Okay, the lights. Let's talk about the lights. So these are vintage crab traps, right, babe? French crab traps that we found and had turned into light fixtures. And then, even though this is a really tiny kitchen, I wanted it to be very functional. We like a really big sink. I like 36 or more for my kitchen sinks, but 36 is sort of my ideal size. So we got this big farmhouse sink here. I searched far and wide for this faucet, which looks like an old kind of vintage laundry faucet and has the soap dish above. I love that. One of our favorite things about the house is this pass-through cantina window here. I'm gonna do that if I don't break it first and show you guys. That. And so we do a lot of breakfast here with the kids out there, kind of passing smoothies and eggs. And then we do a lot of little happy hour type things out there. So this has really, really been good for our family. Because I wanted a kitchen that was bigger than the original kitchen, we had to lose the dining space. So we actually have to dine, a whole family of 7, at this peninsula. So you can see we have the 5 bar stools in front, and then we have what I like to call secret stools. There's 2 of these behind the bar. And those are great because Dave and I can sit here, and then the 5 kids are here, and we can have a nice family dinner here. Or half the time I would say we're out on the extra long picnic table outside. So this house is tiny, but we really, really function well in this place, which has been great. So this is gonna get super kitchen design detail-y, so if you're not into all the nitty gritty, you might wanna skip this part, but I am gonna show it to the people who are interested in that and learning about where my brain is going during kitchen design and how that happens. So there was a small window here originally, and we got rid of it. I knew I wanted the cantina window with the pass-through bar because, again, trying to extend our livable space, I wanted to make the outdoors as open to the indoors as possible. So cantina window does that like nothing else. Center of this sink, if you kind of look here, I would have loved to have centered it perfectly in this room. Ideally, this window and this sink would be centered on this area, but it was not meant to be because of how we had to arrange things. So I'll kind of go left to right. We went with the big chill fridge, which we love. This thing is so important to the vibe of the space. I went with white and the chrome accents here. We love this thing. This basket is majorly important for us in keeping us organized in this tiny house. This is where we keep all of our beach blankets and quilts and hats and everything we sort of need as we're going out the door. Okay, so what I like to do in most of my kitchen designs, I like to get the sink centered up on one wall and then the range centered up on another wall. So I can have multiple people working at the same time, which is awesome functionally, but from an aesthetic perspective, it makes really, really beautiful elevations when you're looking at them. So as you're looking this way, you have this gorgeous focal point of the sink with the window, and if you're looking that way, you have this great focal point of the range and the tile and the hood and all of that. So from a perfect kitchen design perspective, I would have wanted this sink perfectly centered under the peak of the room, but I wasn't able to do that just because of how things shook out sort of in the cabinetry. With this Lost big chill. That was really important. So as you can see, we had to shift the window to make room for the big chill, which in my opinion is very worth it. This baby is so important in imparting that vintage sort of yesteryear vibe. So the cottage was built in the 70s, but it has sort of a 50s, 60s vibe to it. So I really wanted to get the big chill in here. We went white, wanted to keep it light and airy with the chrome accents here. You'll see my dish towels were very important to me because they are always out, and they're from our shop, Lauren Lease & Co. And I pulled that little accent of blue in there. I have a little nail here. This one, we have gray ones too, but I love them. They're super cute. We've actually had them for almost 5 years now. We've been very good to them. They've held up. This is our dishwasher, which had to be paneled, in my opinion, in this situation to make the space feel bigger. This way you get all this wood across the bottom and you don't have another material jutting out, making it feel smaller. Then we have the 36-inch sink, which is really important to me, even though it's a small kitchen. Even in tiny, tiny kitchens like this one, I do 36-inch sinks because they make you feel like you have a lot of space to work with, and it actually ends up making the space function better and feel larger. So that's really important. Our kids do the dishes for us, which is awesome. And they're messy, again, so we need a big sink. This is a maple finish in our lime wash from UKB LL Yesteryear collection. Every kitchen needs a junk drawer. We've got one. We actually have 3. These are all junk drawers. This is a dog drawer. This is a typical junk drawer, and there's a little Tupperware drawer at the bottom. Then we have the dishwasher, and we have our cleaning supplies under the sink, and then we have dish rags, pots and pans in here. And then we use this little turnaround area as our pantry. All of our cans and jars are under there. Coming around. Okay, then we have the 24-inch range here. We've got plates, platters, bowls, that kind of thing here. And then we've got glasses, some more bowls, that kind of thing up here. And showed you that. Let's see. Coming around this corner, we have a cabinet that you can kind of reach through. So that side, it's accessible from two sides. We fit things like dog food, really huge pots in there, coolers. It's huge. So if you look at this whole area, that is all of this.
Wine bottles.
Wine bottles, important things, you know what I mean? Okay, so then here we've got knives, pastas, snacks, and then here you guys can see the secret stools. My tip with secret stools, they do not have to be as cute as your other stools because they're hidden, but they do have to be really comfortable. So I will sit here and chop and work, have a glass of wine, hang out, but there's this little back area that I like to put on a secret stool for a little bit of back support. It's awesome. You can do a whole long meal here and still be very comfortable. They're upholstered, which I like to do with secret stools if possible. People always think I'm really weird when I ask clients if they want to do secret stools, but the ones who have them love them. And then there's the ones that just want to stand and they're ready to work. But I'm a sitter when I can be a sitter. Silverware, trash recycle, which is in there right now. So now I'm going to take you around to the other side of the room, which is the living room. It's the only room. And here that is. This is out. I'm gonna check that in. There you go. As tiny as this house is, the room is actually pretty big. It works really well for our family and the 3 big dogs. One of the things we did that I think was probably the best thing that we did that was a big splurge at the time was this house originally had flat ceilings, all low 8-foot ceilings. And we really wanted to vault the ceilings to give it this extra volume and height. We almost didn't do it, and then I was like, no, I want to save money. And at the last minute, Dave just said to me, are you going to regret not doing it? And I said yes. So we did the ceilings, and I'm so happy we did. It has made the world a difference. When you have 7 humans in this much square footage, I mean, there are rainy days at the beach. You are thankful for every extra inch, even if they are vertical inches. So this was a great move for us. I'm going to tell you a bit about the wood because it's a long story as to why the wood looks this way. So the wood on the walls is pine, it's cypress, it's random sizes. I think I did 4, 5s, and 6 inches randomly, and I had our contractors mess up. I told them specifically to mess up and make different size gaps. I wanted a sort of, I love Alice in Wonderland, the Walrus and the Carpenter, so I wanted sort of a Walrus and the Carpenter-esque vibe. And so I asked them to, have there's some big gaps in places, and then there's some smaller gaps in places. I just wanted it to look sort of homemade, handmade, and perfect. So we did the cypress on the walls, and then on the ceiling, we did untreated cedar, and it smells like heaven. The combo of the pine and the cedar together, that's my sort of Pavlov's dog smell for relaxing. I smell that. I show up from being in Virginia and get down to the Outer Banks, and I smell that smell, and I know it's just time to relax. So I love it so much. Originally, I put the cypress on the walls because I was not sure if I wanted to paint the walls or leave them. So I had the guys put the cypress on first and took a look at it and decided not to paint it. And I love it. I love the combo of the 2 different woods. People always ask me why it's 2 woods. Well, that's why. This is my safety in case I wanted to paint the house, and I didn't, but it worked out. What else? Oh, I didn't show you guys mission control here, which is really important in a small house when you have a lot of people. This peg rail is a lifesaver here. We keep our beach bags here. I keep extra little linen beach bags. I use tiny beach bags because I don't like to bring a lot of stuff to the beach. I have extra ones in the kitchen. And we just wash these, throw them in the wash, switch them with other ones. They're from our shop. Hang them here, hang hats. Sometimes wet towels are here. I cleaned up for you, don't worry. And then we have this bench, which is awesome at keeping everything organized. It's mostly empty right now. I think everybody's out right now. I kicked everyone out so I could do this tour. But you can see we normally keep flip-flops in here. And then I keep this little caddy, which is just like sunscreen and surf wax and all that kind of thing. And that's just at the ready to go to the beach and hide a mess. So sometimes in the winter, the shoes fill up to there, but it works. This little area has kept the mess at bay in this house and has allowed us to live pretty cleanly in here, which is amazing. The other thing that I love, and I could just not talk about enough, is this hanging fish trap lantern from our shop. We're in Lease & Co. We don't have them anymore. It makes me very sad, but we hung this hook here for this lantern. We take it down and we bring it outside when we're eating for the back picnic table, or we bring it downstairs when we're with friends and dancing. And this baby sometimes moves on to the front little table when Dave and I are having a little drink out there. So love this lantern, makes me very happy. All right, another organizational area and with some hacks that I will share with you is this old industrial cart that we use. Originally I was thinking it would be sort of a bar cart over here, but more than a bar cart, we needed sort of an entry console. So I have this old, kind of precarious, I have this old jar, vintage jar from our shop. It's filled with necklaces, you know, headphones, all those things, sunglasses. I keep like the kids' colored pencils up in here, change, and I guess rocks that they find. And the thing about the beach is things are always coming into your house. So this is really necessary because now everything that the kids find, you know, here's like a little wasp nest here, seashells, basically everything we find can just sort of get shoved in there, toys, whatever, what have you. This is an old sea sponge we got from a vintage shop years and years ago. This is some of my favorite artwork by Mary McGuire. She's an artist. And I originally bought these for our TV show Best House on the Block to stage in a house and then save them for if we ever got a beach house. And so when we got Lost Cottage, I knew they had to go here. I love them so much. She does it in folk art style, which is amazing. I will take you into the living room. The fireplace here is original, but we completely changed the front of it. It used to be brick, and we put this concrete over it. It's just the simple, plain gray concrete. And we kept the original mantle and sanded it down. And on top of it is just things that we've collected over time. This is one of my favorite old vintage seascape paintings. I had collected vintage seascapes for years and really had nowhere to put them. And then when we got this house, just moved them all here and piled them in, and they fit perfectly. This is a favorite one of mine. These are a couple of old rum bottles that we've collected. We found seashells, crazy little lichen mushroom things. And this is one of my favorite old bottles because it has crazy barnacles all over it. Some candles, we love lighting candles in here. Sometimes we light these candles, light those candles, and light the lantern over there. We love to do that when it gets really dark and stormy. You know, those days when you're at the beach and it just gets really dark and you have to run home after getting soaked. We like to put on our sweatpants and curl up in the house with candles. Also, we spend a lot of time here in the off season, in the winter and in the fall, so it's very, very cozy. Moving here to the coffee table. This is my modern Ming coffee table. I designed it for my collection with Woodbridge Furniture in our lime wash finish. And on top of it, actually underneath of it, is the Elowin rug in wool from my collection with Rugs USA. Sort of like a white or a cream, but there's some oatmeal kind of woven into it, so it really hides things well. And it's worked well for us with the dogs and the kids, and it has gray stripes running down it. Then on top of the table, we have this really, really old, beat up, dog-bitten tic-tac-toe game here. It gets a lot of use by both the kids and the dogs as chew toys. And then I have collected lots and lots of books. You're not seeing as many. I did a culling recently and brought some back to our other place. But I love the local bookstore here, Island Bookstores, and they have so many great books that have to do with the ocean. And so we love walking over there and adding to our collection. This is a vintage basket here, another vintage rum bottle with, I forget what this is called. It's like, it's not dog grass. It's like dog fennel. We have a lot of this growing wild here in our yard and all around Kerala. And they last a really long time. So I love putting them around the house, as you've probably seen. And then more books, more seashells, little vintage things. I'll show you our end tables here. Oh, this is a vintage find. Lots of times I pull it in here. Just a fun little woven chair. We do not have a TV in here, so what we do is on the wall behind you, which is blank, we have a couple of hooks up there and we hang a sheet and we do a projector in here and then we all watch movies. This turned out to be a roundabout decision, but I love that we went with this. The original chairs, leather chairs I wanted were back ordered for a long time, so I got these leather butterfly chairs as temporary options, and they worked out really well in here because we move them around, we bring them outside on the deck when we're having people over, we bring them underneath of the house when we have people over. And then they move all over when the kids are playing games at this table. This game table is often, all the stuff is sitting on the fireplace and there's just toys all over it. And these chairs move all over. They come into our bedroom if you watch movies in there. So it's nice to have a flexible situation because, they just like fold up and you can move them wherever you want. Oh, okay. And then this table is one of my favorites. So it's a vintage find, little wooden fish. So I love that guy. He goes right between them. And then we have Dave's surfboard. I got this for his 40th birthday. He's very excited. We did all this. Let's see. Okay, the sofa. So this is the Libra sofa. It's from my collection with Taylor King. I did it in a gray linen blend slip-covered fabric so we can wash it when we have to. I've taken so many naps on the sofa. I love it. It's super deep, so it's a good spooning sofa. We'll often get 4 of us on here curled up watching movies. This pillow is, I feel like everything is from our collections in this house. This is from my collection with Bed Bath & Beyond that I used to have, and it's made to look like an old Martha Washington quilt. That's that. These end tables are called the leftover tables, and they are a replica of a vintage table that I found that I think someone handmade in a vintage store by us. And I call it the leftover table because the original one is just made from scrap wood. And so we got 2 of these. They're from my collection with Woodbridge Furniture, and they hold so many books. This is why I love them. You're not seeing a lot on here right now because I cleaned up for you and kind of pulled out a little bit. But these are all the cool books. I love getting books for the kids, like Pirates, old vintage stuff, Iron Pirate, Blackbeard. I read this.
See a theme.
I bought what?
See a theme.
Yeah, there's a pirate theme there. I read this exact book when I was down here working in the summer in college, and I remember reading it on the beach and being like, Blackbeard sailed these very waters. so that book has a little history to it. And I collected more thinking my kids might have those romantic thoughts as well. I don't think they have, but that's okay. There's still time. So all these cool books. I also love to collect children's books for the kids at that bookstore. So I will show you guys a couple of my favorite kids' books. Wave, I don't know if you guys have heard of this one. It's a really amazing one. And then I love Caldecott Winners. This is a great Lighthouse one. And then this is one of our favorites, Spencer and Vincent. I should just do a list. I will try to do a list of books for you guys because we have some really good ones. I love reading children's books that I myself enjoy as well. The Blue Little Cottage. And, okay, this is okay. I'll stop now. This is not my hat. But I love reading children's books. Okay, wait, last one. This is mine from when I was little. Do you guys remember Barney's Sandcastle? Golden book. I love it. Okay. So I like to read books that I actually enjoy to the kids, and so all these kind of have a good timeless feel to them, and they're great to read. Back here is, I will show you this, our front slider. I think there's a, I don't say lawnmower, I was going to vacuum cleaner. So here's our front porch here. I'll take you out here really quickly. It's a good spot here. This table and chairs Dave and I bought at Lowe's, I think. Was it on closing day for this cottage? Ace, not Lowe's, right? Ace Hardware. Dave and I bought this table and chairs at Ace Hardware. I think it was a closing day for Lost Cottage. On closing day, we sat here, had a beer, and sat on our front little porch before it was renovated. And this table has some great memories for me. We bring that little lantern out here a lot and do like cheese and appetizers and out here. But this is a really great deck space. This is where our dogs can usually be found barking at poor people who are trying to walk to the beach. It's really charming. All right. Is this
Lobster.
Lobster. Oh, right. Okay. So we made this lamp out of an old lobster trap that was at our old house in Virginia. They used to use it to catch snapping turtles in our pond. And we thought it was really beautiful. And we found also at Ace this huge light bulb and attached it with ropes to the ceiling. So love that. And another surfboard here. Foam ones are good for learning. I think that's everything. I think I talked about every single piece. Oh, I didn't talk about the tiny lamp. I love the tiny lamp. Thomas O'Brien, I think. This is the bunk room. I think it's approximately 10 feet by 12 feet. It is tiny. This is where all 5 of our kids, plus 2 of our dogs, sleep. The other dog sleeps with Dave and me in the other bedroom. So we have one bed here without a bunk over it. And that is Louie and Honey Bear's spot a lot of the time. And then we have 2 beds here. Our teenagers are up on top, our little girls are here, and our middle son is here. The dogs go everywhere, typically not on the top, but sometimes they can be found up there when they get help. This was meticulously planned out. These drawers are super deep. They go almost the entire depth of the beds. So each kid only has 1 drawer in here. So the kid that's in this bed gets this drawer, and those 2 have a drawer each, and so on. They each have their own little lanterns in their beds to turn on the light for reading, and then they have outlets as well. This thing I love. I found it on Etsy. It looks like an old fishing bobber, so it's really cool. And we have this antique dresser in here where they keep all their swimsuits, rash guards, and I keep sheets and linens for this room in here. An old vintage rug from our shop, Lauren Lease & Co. And vintage pillows in here. And then if you come around this way, you will see we have more books stashed up here. This is stuff that needs to be read or has already been read, and we just have to use bar stools to get those. That's not the stuff that's in circulation every day, but we can grab it when we need it. He also raised the ceiling height in here as well. I would say that, you know, I talked about it earlier, but that really is one of the best things you can do in a small house if you can raise the ceilings, because this again added so much volume to the space. It also allowed for the top bunks to have, so actually if you look at the room, you can see where it would have ended at that 8-foot mark. So the additional space up top allows the top bunks, the teenagers, to get a lot more headspace, which is really important. We also put the second bunks higher up than you normally would because we had the space, so you don't hit your head when you're in the lower bunks. As a family, we have spent a lot of time in this room. We watched movies. Dave and I curl up with the kids. All the dogs, all the kids, 10 of us are in here. And this room really, I don't know, it's handled the kids really, really well. Oh, and I'll show you the doors. I'll kind of take you around. All right, so I want to kind of show you something else we did here. There is a door here to the only bathroom on this floor, and I wanted it to sort of disappear right within the woodwork here, so it's really flat, and we had the doors custom made. So all 3 of these doors, when they're closed, like if we have people over, we want to, just close off the private spaces, we close them, and it's actually very hard to see them because they kind of camouflage away. And I'll take you into the bathroom here. All right, so this is our bathroom. There are a lot of people using this bathroom. So where you are currently standing was actually the closet for what is now the bunk room. So this bathroom used to not be accessible from the living room. So if you had guests over, it was a Jack and Jill, and you had to access it through the bedrooms. So what we did was we stole the closet to create a hallway to come into this bathroom. We have a toilet over here, and then I also took the area where the 2 bunks hit, and you sort of had that square connection point. That became the shower with 2 shower heads in it. And then we put the vanity in front of the window. This is a great vanity. It has a ton of storage. Our girls use this as a ladder to climb up here, so very functional as well. I wanted to just put some kind of unexpected touches in here. So these are outdoor lanterns, and they are hanging. The only mirror in here is this vintage shaving mirror there, and I always find it pointed down for little Aurora, so I can't see. Again, another vintage style bridge faucet in here, and we keep our towels up here on a little train rack, and you can see we have a ton of pegs because there's always things drying in here. The floor, do you want to come see over by the shower? That's pretty. The floor is this pebble tile, as is the shower walls. I love it. It feels so good underfoot. Very natural feeling, one of my favorites. And then we kept the same cypress and cedar treatments on the walls in here. And then we added a door, or we kept the door, actually we moved it. And then we have a door into our bedroom. So we can kind of use it as a primary suite, but you never know if you're gonna walk in on someone. So there's always the gamble. And here is another custom door. Again, this is something I think is really important in small spaces. The doors, when they blend in with the walls, just make the space feel bigger because it's continuous. A different color or material would stop your eye and make everything feel smaller and more chopped up. So Super important in small spaces. Another big space saver in here, we have only 4 functioning drawers in here, but we have these baskets underneath where we can keep things like extra toilet paper and supplies as well. Oh, you guys have to come see my mermaid TV holder. I did put some kitschy things in this house and I'm kind of obsessed with them. So there's that. We're gonna back you on up. And so come on into the primary bedroom. This is our bedroom, and again, we raised the ceilings in here to give it that extra space. And I had this old pine dresser, so we just used it in here. This is one of my favorite pieces that I had for sale in my shop for a while and never sold, so I got to take her home. I joke that I probably put her on for too high, that's why she never sold, so she's mine. This is an old faux bois lamp that we found at an antique, what was it, an antique market, maybe, Christian was maybe 15 years ago, one of my favorites. It's got these really cute little stars on the shade, and an antique fishing bobber here, little jewelry box from the shop. This mirror came with the house and worked perfectly. Okay, do you guys want to see my closet? Come on and see. So, because everything had to be small, we had no space, I have, I think, less than 6 inches of technical hanging space in here. This is an HVAC trunk line, but you can see, just kind of hang things. I got these really tiny little fabric wrapped wire hangers, so they just don't take up much space. And that's our tiny closet there. Let's see. This huge old dresser in here, which I love, Restoration Hardware. Simple cream bed in here with 2 more of the Martha Washington pillows, linen sheets. This is an old indigo dye piece that I got from our shop a long time ago. Vintage striped rug. This is a broken lamp that doesn't work. Cockatoo lamp that we have in here, but I brought it. It does not work, but I brought it because it was in our oldest son's nursery, and I just love it. I love the vibe of it. We don't actually use it. Little jewelry box, frame TV, and huge old conch shell here. Surfboard here. It's always got sand all over it. We're used to a pile of sand there. Linen curtains. I'll take you out here. All right, so come out to our deck here. So this is our deck here. We love hanging out here. This maple tree has grown so much over the years. Over here, I'm sure you recognize, is the other side of the cantina window. We have our bar stools here. So you can see how easy it is just to pass things through, hang out, have a glass of wine and or a smoothie or breakfast. We love this space. This is our massive 12-foot picnic table, so our whole family fits here, and we can also entertain when other families come over. It's great. Had many a dance party out here. I'm trying to stay under here. I'm gonna walk this way. I'll take you guys around downstairs to see our tiny laundry room. And you're good, you guys, like, make sure. To see our tiny laundry room, and we also have an extra bathroom down there that we use for when we're getting back from the beach. So come on into the laundry room. This is underneath of the house now. The laundry room was designed to be an indoor-outdoor space, or it's indoor, but we designed it to be outdoor in case of flooding. The floors are Trex, and the walls are done in the same board and batten as the exterior of the house. We put the washer and dryer up about 20 inches or so in case of floods, and the Trex would allow the water to seep back down in case of floods as well. We keep things off the ground. We want to be prepared here because when we first came to this house, there was a lot of damage in this area of the house. Where you are currently standing was actually outside, and then there was a storage room here that we could see had sustained water damage. The original washer and dryer, were they in the kitchen? We're in the kitchen. So we really had to get those down here. And then there was a bathroom back here, which, this bathroom here, we had another cedar door made. This bathroom existed as well, but we renovated it again, putting the same hardy plank on the walls, same Trex on the floors. Redid the shower in the potter's tile from my collection with Architecta, and put a pretty little white shower curtain on it. This bathroom mostly gets used when we come back from the beach. If someone needs a, okay, I don't want to talk about the potty here. Try not to talk about the potty, the elephant in the room. But this bathroom mainly gets used when we come back from the beach. But we do have an outdoor shower, which I will show you now. Oh, and we use leftover wood from inside the house for down here. So this is the pine and that is the cedar because we had half and half left over. All right, so come on out here. I will show you our outdoor shower. Not much is unique about it except for it's very large and we love it. All right, so we have a little area here with hooks and pegs for clothes. And then we have a double shower in here, which we love. I've been letting the Virginia creeper grow up. My babies, trying to get them to grow here. Yeah, I love the shower here. This area underneath of the house is one of our favorite spots. We added the concrete flooring. It used to all be sand. And we hang out here all the time when it's raining and when it's not raining. These chairs are awesome. We love our hammocks. We have taken many a nap down here. Lots of times the kids will bring a big quilt down here and have food and games, and we just love hanging out here. This is our beach toy cage here we had made under the stairs, so we keep other surfboards and chairs in there. And close it on up. We bring lanterns down here as well. And I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much for watching the tour of our Lost Cottage. If you liked the tour, definitely check out my book, Beach Life, which features the Lost Cottage and a bunch of other lost cottages that we've redone in the Outer Banks area. Also, something I always forget to say is if you enjoyed this tour, please like and subscribe. It really helps us with the channel and